Hey everyone, how you all doing? Let's do a multi-video session. So I'm going to walk around the house. You're going to see me at different places. I'm just going to go and finish off my cup of tea. I've just put the water in, and I'm going to have a few sips of it. So this is position one. This is a good position to be in here. So if you want to go to full screen with that, you go there, and that'll take you to full screen. So I like to shake it up a bit. Now the audio is coming from this radio mic that I've just attached to camera 3. But I can also rig this up so that I can have audio coming out of a mixer. But just for now, because I'm roaming around the house, it's probably best just to have it on a wireless mic, which is cool. That's that one, and that's that one. Leave it on multi for a bit. Finish my tea. So I'm out of the picture at the moment. I'm in the kitchen. Just making sure that I get my tea just perfect. I use Yorkshire tea bags, mate. I love them. Makes a good brew. No, I don't drink as much tea as I used to. Probably down to about 4 cups of tea a day now. At one time, it were about 12 a day. But I mix it up now, have more water, more minerals. Got to start looking after yourself, haven't you? Always give it a good stir as well. A bit longer than most people. Most people only give it a few flicks and then they drink it. Well, I just like it all to just blend in. I'm just having a few rich tea biscuits because I don't go for fancy biscuits, mate. I've never been that keen on fancy biscuits. Rich tea biscuits are plain, but I really like them. So I do tend to buy them. And I like to dunk my biscuits. Who doesn't like to dunk the biscuits? Anybody a dunker? But sometimes they change the recipe. I found that with quite a lot of confectionaries. They take away the sugar. Don't make, then the saccharin and stuff like that out of different products. And they don't taste as good. They taste more bland, the food. From what I can remember in the past, most of the chocolates were miles nicer than they are at the moment. That's because taking away sweetness, saccharin, and things that they say aren't any good to you. I don't know why they're so concerned about our health when their master plan is probably to make sure that we don't live to our full potential. I bet these crunchy sounds will come through the mic. Lovely cup of tea. Won't you have a cup of tea, Father? No, Mrs. Doyle, I'm fine. Go on. Won't you be having one now? You have to admit it. The Brits do some absolutely amazing comedy. You know, groundbreaking stuff. Only Fools and Horses. I used to watch that. I used to think that was really good. And then we had in the 70s we had The Likely Lads with James Boland, and that were a cracker as well. And then we had Steptoe and Son. And I think America did a copy from Steptoe and Son, and they call it Chico and the Man. And I watched their version as well, just to see, you know, and compare. And a lot of things that we get off the ground first, you know, with groundbreaking comedies, America have a look at it and then they put their own slant on it. And they just rename it, but it is basically a copy from something that the Brits have done. They've certainly pinched our brains along the way. And when they finally caught up, technology-wise, which they did, obviously. But in the old days, when the Victorian Empire was like powerful, nobody could touch it, could they? It was all over the place, all over Europe, all over the world at the time. And that's what world powers do. They spread out. But they get too big, far, far too big. And that's when a level of corruption creeps in. And because they've been getting away with this corruption for years and years, eons, but, you know, 200 odd years for Anglo-America, and other world powers have got away with it for hundreds of years, they just keep it going. They keep the old corrupt system going. And people think it's just going to go on forever and ever, you know, and there's not going to be an end in sight. It's not going to come to a stop. But that would be really foolish thinking. But it is going to come to a stop, isn't it? We all know that. No currency lasts forever. You all have a shelf life. And so no power, human power, will last forever. Now, I don't think you'd be so disappointed, will you, when it comes to an end, in view of the misery that it's caused? But I can't get my head round the scripture where it says, unless God steps in, no flesh will survive. Sounds like something really, really quite awful is on the way, you know, to have that in the Bible. No flesh will survive. So I presume that would mean animal flesh as well. So whatever event is in our near future, if left up to man, his intention is to completely wipe us all out. I think that's what that is really saying, isn't it? And so God calls time and says, oh, that's enough there. You know, can't have this carrying on, or my special group of people will be wiped out, and I'm not having that. And so he acts on a global scale. It's not as if he hasn't done it before. He's wiped out a whole world before. So to do it again, it's no biggie, is it, for him? It's a necessary evil. You just can't have things going on the way they are. People's quality of life is just getting worse and worse. Says me with all my technology gear. Yeah, but that's because I don't spend it on holidays. I don't go on world trips and to exotic places, and I just don't travel anymore. So I'd rather spend it on technology gear. It's a bit scruffy in my room at the moment, my downstairs. That's why I've got the step ladders there. Just doing a few things around the house, just, you know, bit by bit. That's all you can do, isn't it? Can't do much more than that. Not when you're working full time, you know. You got. I mean, I have to take a sort of time off in a holiday to do any real proper jobs around the house because I can't get nothing done. You know, a weekend, because I get home on a Friday like today and every bone in my body's aching and I'm feeling like an old man. I don't know how longer I can continue to be an engineer. I really don't. I might become a cropper, have an accident, and then never be at work. And then I've got to sort of support myself financially then. I mean, lucky for me that I don't have a lot of debts. I'm very lucky in that regard. No mortgage and no rent to pay. But if, say you've got like 5 or 6 years work left in you and you're not able to do that, that means you have to live off your savings until your pensions kick in. You know what I'm saying here? Just that being an engineer, it takes its toll. It absolutely batters you at times. But when you've got the health of a young person, you can bounce back. You can have a hard day, bounce back, and do it all again the next day. But you can't do that when you get older. You can't bounce back as quick. So what about Benjamin, eh? You wouldn't like to have Benjamin Netanyahu as your father, would you? You really wouldn't. He wouldn't listen to you at all, would he? Once he's made his mind up, that'd be it. You know, there'd be no changing it. Do or die, Benjamin. Oh, anyway, peeps, I'm just having a little incidental talk with you and just showing you a 4-camera multi-shoot. Finish off over here, if you excuse me. So it's getting excited now. The US elections, you just do not know at this stage how it's going to play out. Don't know whether Trump is even going to be alive in November. 2 attempts, maybe another one. Who knows? They certainly don't want him to be the president again. Absolutely adamant about that. So they're going to have to fake something, aren't they, to get him out of the picture? Anyway, peeps, that's me. I'll see you again.